This dime might be rejected by a coin star if you were to stick it in and try to count it because it's bent. And most of the coins I see that the coin star is rejected, I found a few. They're either bent, somehow damaged, or stuck together with a couple others. Now this, when I first saw it, I thought I might have a war nickel in my change, but it's not. It's 1968, likely seen a lot of time in dirt. Now, let's talk about copper cents. This is 74. All these memorial coins are something like 96% copper. And at the moment, $1 of these at current prices of copper are worth $2.68 per $1 of these. Now, it's possible that people start putting bags of these together and buying and selling them like bullion, but as of right now, probably not so much. Now, another topic to think about. When you get old silver coins like this, it's 720 silver. It's worn out a lot. I know it to be a Netherlands coin, 1738, or 1938, I'm sorry. Older than that, it wouldn't look like this. 1738 coin. Coins that old tend to look like these. This one's like an 1818 coin, or 1819. You can see a bit of the date right there, and it's probably 1819. This one's a thaler, or thaler, and it's got holes drilled in it and stuff. But I'll listen to the ping, and it looks right, although worn. This one is a British coin, and I like the way it looks. But one thing you have to keep in mind when you're buying this kind of coin, when it's worn out, it should be very cheap. In fact, right at maybe a little above melt on stuff like this that's a little bit older and probably more rare than that other one. Yeah. Now, when you do buy foreign coins and they got holes drilled in them, like this is a 1912 Z mark, or Zwie mark, 1912 German, right before World War I. Now, one thing I want you to look at when you're buying coins like that are struck like this is, look at the field, although there's not a lot of field on this side. This side, the field is between the back of his head and the lettering around here. They have a certain look to them, a coin. Now, hello everyone who's starting to show up. No, that makes these cheaper. Someone said the hole punched is really bothersome, because this coin is nearly a ½ ounce silver weight. It's would have been probably 3 times the price without the hole in it. And these aren't worn real bad or have holes, I would have never been able to buy these at the price I got them. And this one, they're fairly common. It's not super old. It's 1938, so not so much. Now, one other thing I want to talk about. If you saw my live the other day, you know I bought a couple of these Capped Bust $half. One's probably 1832, and the other one could be something else. It's hard to read the number, but this one's 1835. You can see enough of its number to tell it is 1835. Again, when you look at the field, you can see how it looks. It's relatively smooth, even though it's worn. And then on this side, which you see the field, it looks pretty smooth. Now, the coin dealer had another one of these in his collection that he picked out for me to buy, because I had these and this 1906 Barber coin, which again, you look at the field, it's still smooth. And that part ain't worn down like this smooth is. That's how it comes from the mint. But in these also, I don't know if you'll be able to see this very well, they have letter edging. And it says $50 or 50 cents, something like that. Now, these coins are pretty expensive when they are in better shape. Like this 25. Again, you look at the field, it's nice and smooth. So the other coin he had was an 1823 one. And it looked quite a bit like these. Actually, it looked quite a bit like this one, except it had a damage where a hole was punched, and it looked like the rim was cracked. Hello, Silver and Cigars. So yeah, that's what it had. It had damage. It looked like there was a hole punched in it. Well, I went by the coin dealer the other day because I bought these last week, these 4 coins. He had one more in it. So I was sitting there looking at it for a while. Now, here's an 1831 Capped Bust half dollar, which is my nicest one of these. You can see how the field is nice and smooth. But as I was looking at that other coin he had, I noticed one thing about it. The field did not look so smooth. And these can get pitted. And keep in mind, I'd bought these, both of these from him. And these, one other thing you may not know about these if you've never bought one, it's a bigger diameter. It is 32.5 millimeters versus 30.6 or so for the modern half dollars. So I took it, looked like there's a crack in the rim. I took it up and I tried to ping test it. It didn't sound like this one. Hear how that rings? Or this one, because it rings quite well too. These are 89% silver, 11% copper. They have a nice ring to them. This is a sterling coin. And it has a real nice ring. Well, it didn't ping. Now, if you have a cracked rim on these, it doesn't ring. Or at least every one I've ever had that had a cracked rim doesn't ping. But that's a nice one. 1825. It's not worn too bad. And this one's a pretty nice one. 1831. But you have to know they have letter edge on the edge. It says, well, you won't be able to see it on this because it's in the holder. Well, maybe you might be able to see a little bit. There, it says 50. I have to turn around this way and get the light on there. See where it says 50? That's what they mean by letter edge. If these don't have lettering, they have to be the last couple years they made them. Because there's a few of them they didn't have. They had reeded edges. But the earlier ones, they're all letter edged. And The coin he had, the other one I didn't buy, it did have some lettering edge, but unfortunately it didn't ping. And when I went to weigh it, see, these are down a little over a gram. One is 12.64 grams and one is 12.26. And I was looking on USA Coin Book, they're supposed to be 13.48 grams and 32.5-inch diameter, like I was saying. Letter edge, 1807 to 1836. They had letter edge. Now, 1836 also had one that was reeded, but it came later. Now, what did it weigh? Well, I put the other coin on the scale he had. 11 grams. These are down about a gram. That other coin had lots more detail than these two do. It was at least detail-wise about like this one. And I'm like, there's no way you can take over 2 grams off of a coin like this and have that much left. So I got, call it spider sense if you want to talk about Spider-Man, his spidey sense. Or you can just say you got spooked by the coin. You're like, this doesn't seem right. And when I pointed it out to him, it was 11 grams. He threw it on his scale and looked at it too because he was busy doing other stuff. And at that point, he's like, it's a fake. He said, and it's a common one. They made quite a few millions of them. So he's like, I don't know why they would fake such a common coin, but they do. Now, keep in mind, a good for this coin book, graded book-wise, would probably be around 80 to 90, $100, give or take. I didn't actually have to pay as much because A, it's not graded, and B, it may have a few problems that prevent it from getting good for, like this rim starting to go away a little bit. This one, I'm sure, would be plenty over a good for because it's barely worn. I mean, most of the details are pretty sharp. Fake? No, it's not fake. That's not fake. Now, the one that was 11 grams is fake. And this is also definitely not a fake. But usually a fake coin of a silver coin, and I did buy a few from Temu, or however. Let's see, where are they? They'll have an entirely different look to them. And I'll just show you. Well, that's probably not a good example. We'll take out of here one that is fake. Fake Morgan dollar. When you look closer at the surface of this coin, you'll notice it's not quite as smooth as some of them, an actual struck coin. It has micro pitting and stuff on it. They tried to make it look like it's aged some. See the general coarseness right there next to the wing, between the wing and that wreath. There'll be little scratches on most of these, and they do have some scratches on this one, but look at the field. Let's see if this will focus nice and well for you. And just look at the rest of it, how it looks. The general coarseness like that and fuzzy details, this is fake. And I can prove it's not silver just by taking this. And if you have a silver dollar, you know what they sound like if you've ever pinged one. Hear how high that is? That is a clear fake dollar coin, 1879. And it just doesn't look quite right. I mean, when you look at it. Let's see, I might have another one here. It's, you know, in terms of getting the design to look like a Morgan dollar, you're kind of right. It is a pretty good fake. I mean, I know it's fake though. And sometimes they'll put copy on these, but this one, they didn't. And, I mean, they make a lot of different ones. Now, you want to talk about fake. This is going to hurt your eyes. JFK 64 half dollar. Fake as the day is long. This is a horrible looking fake, actually. But, and it's a very common coin, but they'll make fakes of common coins. This thing only weighs about 8 or 9 grams too. Now, I'll show you one that doesn't look, well, it looks way off. They don't look nothing like that. In fact, they'll look more like this. Although this isn't a 64 Kennedy. It's a modern, it's a bicentennial half dollar. And when you look at it, you can see some mint luster still on it. It's scratched up some. It's just a copper nickel piece. It doesn't matter. There's no reason for anybody to make a fake one of these because it's 50 cents. But again, it is a struck coin. You can see minor scratches on the surface, but it's pretty smooth compared to that Morgan dollar. Now, I did also go by the bank hoping to maybe get a Wounded Eagle Sacagawea dollar. They had some dollar coins, but unfortunately every one of them are Susan B. Anthony's, all 79s. Very common year for these. The 1980 and 81 is not as common as the 79. They made millions of them. Well, they made millions of all of them, but not to the tune of that. Now, this particular half dollar, Walking Liberty, I want you to look at it. 1918 one, right? But when you start looking at this really close, whoever did this fake, they did a pretty good job at making the details look about right. I mean, it's crazy how close this looks to an actual Walking Liberty half dollar, but it isn't silver. Again, we can prove it just by, if I can get it, and we'll see if I can get this to balance and try to ping. But it will not sound like, well, I'm having no trouble, or a little trouble, balancing that coin on my finger. And now it's falling on the floor somewhere and I can't find it. But yeah, it's not silver. And this barber has a little bit of stuff stuck on the back. But it still pings nicely. Alright, now I'm gonna have to find that coin. That's what they make flashlights for. Well, unfortunately, it looks like it rolled off pretty far because I don't see it anywhere close. Which means I'll have to hunt for it later. Because I don't know where it went. Anyway, I did order several different coins from Temu that are all fakes. But wait, yeah, I got this one. 1909 Barber Orleans Mint. Given the look of the design, it's not that far off what they look like. Oh, this is much higher grade than a lot of these are. Then it'd be quite an invaluable coin because Barber half dollars, which this would be at least extra fine probably. But that's a problem on the rim. That line, the little hole there, that's not something you're likely to see on one of these. Now, this one's kind of light. We'll see if I can get it to ping at all. It's slick in terms of staying on my finger. It doesn't want to. That's pretty horrible. So go ahead and throw these back into the bag, and then that other one, I'm sure I can find it eventually. It fell on the floor and rolled or something. But that's pretty much what I wanted to cover. You're buying these and they're worn out pretty bad. They do have letter edging. They're bigger across than their modern counterparts by diameter. We'll show that again. They're 32.5 millimeters diameter, which these are like 30.6, I think it is, so they're smaller. And this one's kind of worn, but 90% silver, or 89%, like these are, has a distinct ring to it. Now, I've already ping tested this one, and actually I did a full video on this one a while back where I assessed it, looked it over a lot. But when you're buying any coin that is struck, look at the fields. It shouldn't look pitted. This is scratched some. Now they can get micro pitting, but it should be relatively smooth. If it's not, it's usually a dead indicator that it is not a good coin. Let's talk about one other thing. My buddy, the Kansas Kid, was showing off an American Silver Eagle. Now, I want you to look at this, because he had a bunch of them, and one of them was fake. Now, I want you to look at this, and you tell me what you think about this. One thing you kind of notice, it doesn't have quite the mint luster like it should, and that looks kind of micro pitting and lack of detail overall. Reason why? This thing is fake. It's a fake American Silver Eagle, and why they do it, I'm not really sure. Look at the reading on this. If you've seen these, you know they don't look like that. Oh, this is just, it's just terrible. It is a terrible American Silver Eagle copy. But I bought it for a training video to show this to people, because if you've never seen a fake one, they distinctly look different. And usually if you've seen a lot of them, they stand out. If you've never seen one before, though, and you go to a vendor event or something and they have these sitting there and you don't know it's fake, and you think, it looks like a silver eagle to me, and buy it because you've never seen one or bought one before. You just got took. Luckily, this thing was about $2, and I was able to get it for a training video purpose. It's not the only thing that they had on that you could buy that is fake. Fake bullion. These are fake silver bars, and one says, well, how do you know it's fake? Where's that magnet? Well, see how it almost, oh, there you go. It picked that up. If I take it out of this case, which isn't that hard, I mean, you could weigh it. You could do all kinds of things with it, but if you have a silver bar and you go like this, the magnet, it's fake. Because silver don't stick like that. So that is one thing you have to keep in mind, that they do make fake. And this usually would have a serial number. And it too, well, sticks to the magnet. Well, a Silvertown Prospector. Well, if I take it out, it'll really stick to it. So yeah, this stuff's out there. Fake gold one. Then this looks like it's supposed to be gold, but it's not. Not very heavy, and it sticks to the magnet. The American Silver Eagle also sticks to the magnet. And that wouldn't happen with a real American Silver Eagle. Gold. If it's gold, it won't stick to the magnet like that. Supposedly gold Libertad. Not going to happen with a real one. You have to be mindful that, now this is representative of a Bitcoin. It's not a real coin. You've probably seen some of these. Aztec calendar. Sticks like that. It's not a real one. Here's an older type 1 type Silver Eagle that's fake. Won't stick to the magnet if it's real. Maple leaf. Won't stick to a magnet if it's real. Alright. This looks neat. It says 2 ounces of silver on it. Clearly not big enough or thick enough to be 2 ounces. And again, there's one more fake silver bar. Engelhart. So you have to know, if you go buy this kind of stuff, there are fakes. Now this is a replica made to look like the moon, so it probably sticks too. Well, actually, I don't know. Doesn't seem to. Does the Bitcoin? Oh, yeah. So those are all fake. And this isn't a circulating coin anyway, so it doesn't matter unless you think it was gold. And then this is a simple yes and no coin. There's the no side, and there's the yes side. So keep in mind, a trusty magnet and a scale can save you a lot of heartache when it comes to bullion products, because real bullion, silver or gold, it won't stick and lock to it. Now, this one's well under an ounce. Matter of fact, I think it was about 0.6 troy ounces. It's done like a proof, very shiny, not real thick, but these are and it says 1 fine silver, 3/9 fine, 1 troy ounce, but it's not a troy ounce, and it's not real. So stuff's out there, and you need to be wary. You can't trust your dealer. You know, you need to know what a good coin looks like. Good coins will have a certain look to them, even when they're worn out, like some of these other ones. I mean, even though this is worn a lot, it does have a certain look to the field that, well, there's a scratch divot in it, but it is 90%, well, 89% silver, and it'll stay on my finger. It will ping nicely. So that's how I know these are real. They look right, and with the wear they have, they weigh right. And they ping right. Even this, which is a little bit bigger than the $1/2 or $half. Even with the hole drilled in it, the rim is intact and it pings nicely. But that is stuff you have to keep in mind when you buy a silver coin. Even worn out, needs to be close to melt, because this has no more collector value really, except for maybe someone wants a collection of ghostly coins. This is 720, so it might sound slightly different, but it rings a nice amount of time. Anyway, I feel like I've went long enough for tonight for this subject. Buying a real coin versus buying one that's fake. And why, when you're looking at stuff, you need to look it over pretty good, because it's got a little divot in it right there. Well, maybe it isn't a divot. It's like dirt or something. But kind of notice when this focus is good, all the lines around the edge of the design and the stars are pretty sharp, which is something that also will throw you if they're not real. And barber coins, a lot of them will be worn like this one is, because they got circulated a lot. Coin dealers I talked to said that their dads used to get these in change when into the 1950s, and the last ones of these were made in like 1916. So that's a long time of and they used $half then compared to now. I mean, this barely looks worn. It's a bicentennial coin, scratched some, but I mean, you still see the mint luster on it. So this coin seen a little circulation, but not very much. And that's the difference between 50-cent coins now versus way back in the day. They actually used these coins a lot. And even these, back in the day, 50 cents was quite a bit of money. But that's pretty much what I have for this. I'm hoping everyone has a good night and learned something. And copper pennies, dollars worth of copper pennies. And when you're talking memorials, like this one, the memorial cent from 1959 till 1981 are 96% copper. Oh, this is that one. I really do not know how this happened. You can see the impression of another cent on this and the way it lines up, and then there's a little bit on this side too where it has an impression from a coin. Right at the top of this rim, you can see "We Trust." I don't know how that happened, but it did. But copper cents, each one of these are worth 2.6 cents at the moment. And this is a wheat penny or wheat cent, but it's the same deal, same amount of copper in them. There's a little bit older one, but most of the 40s and 50s and even 30s of these are very common, not too much. They're fun to collect because you can get these in your change even, which I have in the past. So, Agent, thanks for stopping by. And I might be going live tomorrow if I get something interesting. But you got to know something about coins to avoid some of the fakes. And generally, sharpness of the design, even in an older coin that is worn quite a bit, you can kind of tell how sharp the lines are on that. Now, this has been cleaned and drilled and other stuff. And striking of coins back then wasn't as precise as it has become. I'm just having the dropsies. So I think I'm going to go ahead and pull this down for the night, and I hope everyone has a good day because that's all I got for you.